The subtle art of making someone's day doesn't include a lot. Just the art of making them live a good piece of their life all over again. And that is it. So I recently came across this show called Replacing Chef Chico on Netflix. And this particular blog just came to me without a second thought process. So let's talk about it. Every foodie would agree with me on this. There is nothing as comforting as a bowl or a plate or sometimes just a spoonful of your favorite food. Those flavors are not just the flavors themselves, they are the keys to the finest and the worst memories, and sometimes both. That is why some of us do emotional eating and some of us cook, while some just enjoy the food. I have that kind of relationship with food, and I'm not gonna deny that part. And watching shows and movies about food is a whole different kind of comfort entirely. As I told you, I recently watched this show called Replacing Chef Chico. Honestly, I thought it would be a rebellious fights and conspiracies to get that position. And I was pleasantly wrong. This show reminds me a lot of the show called Midnight Diner, Tokyo version to me, and the other season also. But even though it holds a subtle similarity, it was a whole different show to me. This show is a very subtle, heartfelt watch, a show about how not only the food, but the people behind food can make someone's entire evening. A team that is almost always overlooked. Flavors that most people cannot even begin to understand, yet it makes sense to a lot of people, especially the people who place the order for it. And yet, everything matters here. There are two stories running through the show at all the times. The first is about the staff, the people we walk past without a second glance, their lives, their struggles, their aspirations, and everything about them. The ones who make the magic happen and go home without a single person knowing their name. The second is about the guest. Each episode brings a different person to the restaurant, their expectation, their dreams, their past, their pain, their life. Just enough of the story about them to get you hooked and rooting for that person that you met like 10 minutes ago. And the way each dish reminds them of a part of their life. And that is where the show owns everything for me. The conversations people have over meals, the art of making food, the behind the scenes stories that unfold in kitchens. How important fresh ingredients are, and so does a part of everyone's life and the decisions. And those kitchen dynamics with the managers? Oh, that felt so close to home. After spending 7 to 9 hours in an office, that political environment was uncomfortably familiar. But isn't it true? You grow and shine with a good manager, while the totally opposite happens when the manager is not being the manager. Well, it's not just till there. Here comes a new layer to the show, the setting up of the restaurant, which feels a lot like watching a company getting built and being shaken down at its very foundation. And when Chico's mother arrives to redefine everything for Chico, it humbles you in the quietest, most unexpected way. I'm trying my best not to give you spoilers because I want you to watch it because it is an amazing show. And there is this one particular piece of the show that comes that hits me like a brick in my face, which is my belief in manifestation and detachment. There comes a point in the show for Ella, the sous chef, where the law of detachment appears in the most beautiful way, and I think I needed to see that part of the show. And that moment is when Ella, the sous chef, lets go of hope and cuts ties. Her life flips entirely. She gets the better opportunity, and everything she had been holding on to so tightly finally finds its way back to her in a better form. The way the life turns around at times, I'm telling you, it's crazy. And that moment stayed with me longer than I expected. I think replacing Chef Chico is my new comfort show. And if you have ever found comfort in food and kitchens and the quiet stories of people who feed the world, this one is for you. Because the subtle art of making someone's day doesn't include a lot, just the art of making them live a good piece of their life all over again, in one way or another.